And we are live.
Live.
Welcome to Beyond the Rift, where we're going to be doing some general gaming discussion, mostly in the state of esports. As you can see from our current topic, we will be discussing the current state of esports.
What we really mean to say is esports killing esports.
Yes.
That's what we want to know.
Is esports killing
Do you think
esports?
esports is killing esports? And if so, why? Give us a call at perfect.rain on Skype to let us know. On our panel discussion today, we have Forecourt Jester, Heavy D, which is joining us for the first time.
Yes,
Thank you, sir. He is a gamer extraordinaire. And
wait, he's never been on here?
No, he hasn't.
No, he actually hasn't.
Never.
Never.
I thought he was on here
once.
Yeah, I thought he was on here once.
You know, I do remember seeing your mug, but I just don't remember when. I don't think you've been on here.
So for our viewers that like us a lot, if you can go back and find which episode Heavy D was in, we will give you something awesome.
Oh, yes. Also, feel free to tweet out that I'm going to give away a CSGO key and a Super Monday Night Combat key.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. To
and
obviously two lucky viewers.
And our
Wait,
third...
you're giving out what and what?
Counter-Strike Global Offensive key and
that's
Super Monday Night Combat key.
Super Monday Night Combat.
So,
and we also have Vaniel joining us tonight. He is the resident skin master.
Yes, he is, from our League of Legends side of things. He has all the skins.
Extraordinary.
Hey, now we got two fat guys on here today.
Hey, we're looking
See,
like,
and they're both on the same side. So
wait. So
I hope the screens don't tip that way.
half the Americans are fat, and then we have the thin Canadian.
Yep.
Great. I love demographics.
And they're from big cities, too. I mean, you got Las Vegas and Chicago. We're from, like, the South and some bumble...
Yeah, but we're thin, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, we're from, like, redneck states.
All right, anyway, so gaming, esports.
Yes.
Back on topic.
Yeah.
Right. Call us up on Skype, perfect.rain, for what you want to know. But so let's get started. Jester.
Did you watch MLG this weekend?
I watched a lot of StarCraft 2, yes.
Okay. What did you think of the quality of it? I mean, the StarCraft 2 I've been very impressed with all around with whatever they do. They've got a very, like, they've been doing it for a long time, so they've polished it up pretty well.
Well, we watched a lot of, like, Central Stream 1, Stream 2. We didn't really watch a lot of the beta stuff, so, like, Robin and Tumba and Frodan. But, you know, the top-tier stuff is still very enjoyable for our party of... How many do we have over, like, 6 people, 5 people? We had an MLG party of, like...
Nice.
And, you know, we couldn't complain. In fact, this was... It looks like we had 6, but yeah. Well, this was our first weekend that we actually didn't even have lag. Like, on ultra settings.
Wow.
We could lag out. That's a first for us. So
Very nice.
you know, we always enjoy the Tastosis combo, day 9. Not so much JP and Rob Simpson, although every time we come up with Rob Simpson, like he's on the screen, we always do like a little bit of a drinking game to his facial expressions. Because he's very facially motivated, I guess, for the camera.
Very nice.
Kind of fun. You should try it out. But no, I think we really enjoyed it. The camera shots, the interviews, the games themselves.
Yeah.
You know, still well worth that $15 a year.
Hey, not bad.
Or whatever it was.
$15 is spent
Whatever
on
the
much
gold
worse.
membership was.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's good.
Yeah, that highlights some of the great things about esports. When done well, they can be thoroughly entertaining, and especially with StarCraft, I mean, it helps to know exactly what's going on, but even if you don't, you can still kind of tell who's winning and, you know, who's being crushed.
Yeah.
So there's always
when the
that.
red guys are smashing all over the blue guys, it might be kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, Heavy D, did you watch any MLG this weekend?
I watched a little bit, but without Dota 2, you know.
Yeah.
You know, spent the weekend mostly watching Toby Wan.
Ah. How was that then?
Oh, that was fantastic. Production quality not as good as MLG, obviously, but
Right.
What
Toby's
was he
got
casting?
a great setup and
Dota 2.
with the joint Dota crew. And
Oh, you mean like...
We're doing a VOD.
Okay.
we there were a lot of good games.
Dota 2.
How many viewers does Toby One get these days? I see it spike quite a bit.
It does spike quite a bit. It really depends on the day and the time. It's surprising sometimes. He'll hit up in the 10,000s
Wow.
like midday on a weekday, and then it gets as low as about 6,000 too. But he usually gets pretty strong.
Poor man.
Yeah.
Pretty strong amount midday, and even over the weekend too. He had I can't remember the high he had over the weekend, unfortunately, but it was pretty good.
Sweet. Awesome. It's good to
Six
hear.
interviews for Toby. Yeah, that sounds right.
Sweet.
Good call, Nazi.
I watched GG Chronicle, which is the League of Legends tournament going on this past weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
And oh my gosh, it was so annoying. Like, I'm sorry, it was like the games were good. They were decent games.
Right.
And I actually asked in chat. I was like, why didn't anyone ask Jester to cast this? And they said he's too busy. I'm like, what?
Well,
If they asked you or not?
well, they did. No. Originally, I was going to be doing games over the weekend, but when I had 5 people over watching MLG, A,
Right.
bandwidth, and B, noise, so I opted out.
Oh, okay. They could have
But,
used you. I'm just saying they weren't like horrible, but I just thought that it could have been a lot better. And not only that, but I see this like just going into the whole esports thing. Something that's really starting to annoy me a lot with at least League of Legends is the delays. Like if a website comes out and says the match is going to be at 1:30, then the match should be at 1:30. It shouldn't be like at 2:30 when all the teams decide to get their asses up out of bed
Yeah.
and come over to their computers. So, and it annoyed the heck out of me because they said the game was supposed to start at 1. It was like 1:40 by the time they were all on and ready. And meanwhile, they're playing this super loud music, like League of Legends fan music and stuff, which was annoying right there. But
area of defect, yeah.
yeah, it was horrible. So, in chat, I'm like, what they should do is, look, the game's at this time. You have 10-minute leeway in case something happens with your computer. Your
Yeah.
team's not ready, you forfeit the first game. I mean, if you want to be taken, if esports wants to be taken seriously and everything, they're going to need to start, the teams are going to have to start taking it seriously, not just showing up whenever they want to and being like, oh,
Yeah.
well, they'll wait because, I'm a pro.
Yeah.
So, and is esports killing esports? That's one thing I think that can kill esports is
If you
they don't
log
set,
on for
they
something
don't have
and
structure and ground rules and things like that. Because right now it's just a free for all. Everyone just shows up when they want to, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
It's more
Well,
like the pros control esports more than the actual structure of esports, or for instance, Major League Baseball. The the guys who run Major League Baseball control everything. The players don't. I mean, they can make demands and they can lock themselves out, but in the end, they have to come to an agreement, and lots of times it does run into everybody's favor.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the other thing that I think is something that's really going to hurt esports as a whole too is a lot of these small tournaments. I like that there's always something on that I can watch and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but at times it just becomes like an overload because it's like, okay, well this weekend there's this tournament and then this tournament and then there's no more matches in that league until a couple months from now, and
yeah.
then they're having this event at this city and that city, and it just while I appreciate that there's always like a tournament that I can go online and watch, it just becomes too convoluted because I'm like, wait, is this IPL? Is this, the official league? Is this
Does it actually
DreamHack
matter?
stuff, Intel, IEM stuff? It's
Yeah.
just kind of hard to keep track of it all.
Yeah, is this the IEM qualifiers? Is this the actual, is this a part of the actual tournament, or is this part of the qualifiers that they just want to stream,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have like the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, and all that, and likewise we have StarCraft, we have LoL, we have we'll have Dota 2 and all these other games too, and that's nice, but when you get like a game like League of Legends and there's like just thousands of tournaments going on everywhere, it just
Yeah.
gets overwhelming.
God, there's a bunch.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's where some of the bigger ones or better ones are going to keep rising up, and the other ones are going to get dropped off, like web shows and like everything else that's competition based.
Yeah.
Heavy D, you
They're
look like
in
you
it-
want to say something. Go ahead. You just have to jump in with
A
us.
lot. But Kyle makes a good point. Teams don't care. He says teams don't care because they get paid more to stream than they do winning tournaments, and
Yeah.
that's actually explains why you see a lot of the American teams not taking tournaments very seriously. That's why you see
Because they don't
mostly the
care,
American
yeah.
teams not waking up on time or not being able to get to the event on time.
Right.
And it's because as far as the money goes, the tournament money just isn't really there. A European team could live off of tournaments easy, whereas a American team the money they make off of a tournament isn't nearly as much as they could be making at home streaming.
Right.
Yeah. So they have no incentive to actually go.
Yeah.
Right, and where the MLB is concerned, there's a lot more money involved in that. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you know, Sundance doesn't really own anybody or
Yeah.
any teams or anything like that, so he can't really dictate where they're at. But even the managers, I mean, it seems like the managers, even when they try and step up, they still seem to have a lot of trouble, and I think it's just because you got a lot of young guys that don't really have any structure and don't really need any structure because they're making money on their own.
Yeah.
Because they can just stream on their own. People want to come watch them rage unowned.
Yeah.
Well, and Dyrus got in a little bit of trouble. He pissing people off last week or the week before because during one of these tournaments he was streaming as well, and his stream had more viewers than the tournament did. So
Yeah.
he was making money off of his stream, and then the tournament had was going on as well. So I don't know if he was doing it at a delay or anything. I hope he was, but
They always do.
Please.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was making money off of that, and if he won the tournament, I'm sure he made money off of that too. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to. Heavy D's got a good point though. I mean, they're going to make more money off of a stream
Yeah.
than they are traveling to somewhere to participate in a tournament.
Yeah, and it's
really
really
only the big tournaments are going to be worth it for them to go, like IPL and IEM and the official, like the DreamHack and that.
Thank you.
yeah, and it's
So-
interesting. Like as far as like young kids and making money, these guys some of them make quite a lot of money, but they don't seem to do very much with it. Like they're not out
5
there.
digits a month.
Yeah, I mean, they're not out there doing all those other things that you would expect young kids to do with shitloads of money that they didn't really have to work that hard for.
Well, I mean,
Token
they're
hookers.
doing what they love to do, and so I mean, they just keep doing it all the time.
It's because they're smart. They know that they're not going to be able to do it forever, so they're stashing it away somewhere so they can retire when they're 30.
Possibly.
I doubt that.
I was gonna say I don't know if that's necessarily
I
the
mean,
case.
if
but
it
hey.
is,
What
kudos.
Dyrus told me once, like Hotshot GG makes like, I mean, he makes just a ton of money. Like they were talking about like tournaments and that. A lot of times Hotshot GG would just cover all of the hotel and plane costs because to him it was like chump change. It didn't matter.
Huh.
And now it's like Dyrus. Whenever you look at the streams and everything, it's like Dyrus always has more than 10,000 people at any given time whenever he's on.
Yeah.
People watching his stream. It's ridiculous
Yeah.
in a good
Yeah.
way.
But there will be a point where, like, if this keeps going on, then these tournaments are going to start fading away because people aren't respecting the whole don't stream while the tournament's going on.
Yeah.
So that means the return from the investors is not as much, and if they don't meet that point of reinvestment,
Yeah.
then we're not going to have any more of these tournaments, which means
Yeah.
that these pros will be the only ones streaming and making money, but then they won't be pros because they're not going to tournaments. They're just really high elo, and then the whole competitive scene just falls apart.
Yeah. And so
Like,
they'll
that's
lose
the
their
big
status
difference.
because
It's
there's
all
no meta.
attitude.
It's
Well, that and the talent controls the industry really right now.
Yeah, very much
the
so.
players, they can make all the money without the tournaments, so they don't even really need the tournaments. So the
Right.
tournaments have absolutely no control. The fact that Dyrus was able to stream that during the tournament and nobody stopped in to either tell him to turn it off or disqualify him shows that not only were they afraid that they would end up losing that team as part of the tournament, that they would also be afraid of pissing them off and not allowing or not getting him to come back on again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but there may have been fans of Dyrus or his team that were actually watching the stream and not Dyrus, and Dyrus may have said, "Well, screw this, I'm not going to participate anymore."
Yeah.
You might have lost viewers right there too. So it's kind of a catch-22. I mean, you don't want them doing it, but if you do it, then you might make some viewers angry too, which is unfortunate.
Very
But
much so.
Yeah.
I think there's got to be some way that that these tournaments and stuff can fix that sort of thing, because right now it's just like you said, the pros just have all the control right now. The tournaments don't.
Yeah.
Only the big tournaments right now really have any control over things, because these ones where everyone just hops on their own computer and they all meet at a certain time in the lobby or whatever I just don't see it working ever.
So apparently they forbade Phantom Lord from streaming the tournament, but they didn't do it for Dyrus. So
Lesser known pro, man.
yeah, I mean it's showing. I mean obviously he's going to show favoritism because he's the big name that's bringing in all the stuff. It's Yeah, it's
Is there
just
a source
a problem.
on
I
that?
love Dyrus. I like Dyrus a lot.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
a
he's
great
cool.
guy.
The source is probably Fanabord.
Yeah, I mean, we've had Dyrus on the show a couple times.
Yeah,
He's a
he
great
was
guy,
awesome.
You know, it's just, and he probably didn't, do that with the mentality of, I'm going to screw them over or whatever.
Right.
That's just how it is right now. It's what everybody does. So, why not him?
Yeah.
True enough.
When we were doing the Fatality tournament, like just 2 weeks ago, me and Phantom Lord, we had
Yeah.
at most 6,000 people watching.
That's it.
At least 16,000 were watching Dyrus in the same tournament. Now, in that kind of terms, I mean, if we put up $5,000, all they had to do was win like 5 games. That's all TSM had to do. 5 games, $5,000. That's their only effort. And I guess either, Complexity or Fatality didn't tell Dyrus to turn off the stream because it was definitely on. And they were talking about the casting in his stream, which I found like very reciprocal because we're talking about Dyrus in our stream. That's a problem for the sponsors because we can't measure those 16,000 people watching the tournament because they weren't watching the tournament. They're watching Dyrus play in the tournament.
Yeah.
And that's all those lost hits don't go back to the sponsor. So I don't know if there will ever be another Fatality tournament because I don't know if the sponsors hit that market that they were looking for.
Yeah.
And if those
everyone loses.
Yeah, and if those 16,000 people, if Dyrus said, "Hey, go watch the stream on here," I mean, they're still watching the same stream.
Yeah.
But
That would be
helps the tournament out. It means that there can be more tournaments. But I don't think they realize that doing that just has a negative impact.
a good
that.
a good way to do it would be like, all right, I'm participating in this tournament. I really need you to support these guys in this tournament. At the very least, if you don't want to watch the casting and stuff like that, and you just want to watch me, then turn on their stream and mute it, and then just leave my stream on too. And so, and if this would be the honorable thing to do, but if I have 16,000, if I have 16,000, the stream that is the tournament only has 5, then I'm going to turn off my stream.
Yeah, but you're not him.
Yeah, I know. I'm not.
I mean, that's a big paycheck.
Yeah.
I think the new question is Dyrus killing esports?
Yes.
Obviously.
Well,
Dyrus,
we're picking on Dyrus,
you,
but there's
you,
a lot
sir,
of other
are
cases.
killing
Yeah.
esports.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not just him.
it's not just Dyrus. He's like the most recent example is all. Like I said, we've had Dyrus on here. He's a great guy. He's been on here a couple times, so
Yeah.
not trying to pick on him.
And one of the things also is like when you get into StarCraft, there's only 2 opponents. Like there's 2 guys playing. It's 1v1. It's fairly easy. When you get into like League of Legends, Han, Dota 2, you have a lot larger player base. So the likelihood of shenanigans happening is much greater. much
10 to
greater.
2, unless you're in a team league, but who cares about team leagues?
Yeah.
So, do you think that, like, since MLG, mostly what they did when they did, the only team-based game that they did was Halo, wasn't it? Or Halo, I never actually watched Halo on MLG. So
Halo's 4-on-4, Call
Okay.
of Duty's 4-on-4.
they had Call of Duty on
StarCraft's
MLG?
all ones.
Yeah, but I
League
mean,
of
like,
Legends was
they had a lot of the
5-on-5.
fighting games.
Fighting games are still 1-on-1.
Yeah, and so, you think that a lot of esports are going to be moving to the more one-on-one things because there's less people to fly out, less money, less hotels, less computers, less bandwidth, all that mess. And
I think I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, though, Demon, because if you think about it, I mean, a lot of these one-on-one tournaments, most of the qualifiers and all that are just like, I mean, they might fly out 16 or 32 people or whatever, but they've already been through a lot of qualifiers. Like the StarCraft ones, like at BlizzCon, they only have like maybe 8 people there that they fly out. So yeah, I mean, I guess it could be cheaper, but most of the tournaments, I mean, a lot of the tournaments, they fly themselves out anyway. The teams do. I mean,
true.
IPL, only one team gets everything paid for.
Yeah.
All the other teams have to basically pay their own way.
Yeah.
And computer-wise,
it's similar with StarCraft 2, though, because I think they fly out the top 16. And, well, okay, if you fly the top 4 WoW teams, that's 20. I mean, it's not that much different. Plus, they share rooms. So
yeah. Plane tickets
it's
can
really
be
not that
expensive.
much of a difference money-wise.
Yeah, except plane tickets are very expensive, as we can attest for flying up to PAX this weekend, or not this weekend, but this coming.
Yes, we're going to PAX
Yeah.
next week.
It's going to cost me a lot of money to go to IPL 4 next week, too.
Yeah.
And you're blaming me for
like,
not
what-
wanting to go to that? Yeah.
$3 in gas, I think. $3 in gas. around that.
You're terrible.
It's like a 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
No, it's literally like, I don't know, 15 minutes on surface streets. It's not bad.
Versus air streets.
Versus, yes.
Yes, I like those air streets. I
So,
think they're called
yeah,
bridges.
Kumate's coming in, so we're going to hang out, go to IPL4, try
Cool.
to bum some skins or something off of...
What
think
skin do you
Renault's-
not own?
That's the point.
Renault is
That's
going.
off topic, though. It's off topic.
I saw Renault is going, so I'm going to try and bum some stuff off of her.
Yeah,
I
Ricardo will
bet
be
you're
there
going to
as
bump
well.
something off her.
No, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that that somebody that wins already has the Triumphant Rise skin, so they could just sort of pass it to me. Kind of hope it's someone we've had on the show.
Not happening.
Oh, okay. Then I'll have to just set up my own little tournament here in Vegas with 10 people.
So,
Get right to sponsor. Yeah.
so I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the South Korean esports scene. If I mean,
OGN?
yeah,
Or,
well,
you
just
know,
in
anything.
general,
The whole culture that is,
because
gaming.
I mean, as far as esports scenes go, they would be the gold standard. I mean, they have a television channel for it.
StarCraft is actually their national pastime, like officially.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have Hydralisk flavored chips.
Nice.
Yeah,
What do
At
they
least
taste
did.
like?
I don't know if they do anymore.
Or what did they taste like?
I have no idea.
Slime.
I don't live in
Like
Korea.
Hydralisk.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I wonder how you
So
would describe that.
So yeah, I mean, so that would be the gold standard. So they have that, and obviously it's there to stay. I mean,
Yeah.
when you have that kind of product placement, you have like just great sponsorship.
Yeah.
They have their own television channel.
But they get thousands and millions of viewers, I'm sure, each. Well,
Right, but
various
there's a
things.
reason for that. And I mean, when you say that your kid is a esports pro and he makes all this money, that's not saying like
It's not like these days. Or
it's not
in
like
America,
he's like,
where it's
oh,
like,
my son is a pro gamer. You mean he spends all his time in the basement and doesn't have a girlfriend? You know, that's the that's the mentality.
Yeah.
And he might be overweight and drinking from a stein, but
that one wasn't me, heavy.
I am on the
Well-
second floor.
Well
all right?
played. Well
And this is
played,
the
Rebel.
master bedroom of this house.
Well played, Rebel.
yes.
but yeah, I mean, it's that kind of thing. It has a stigma here that
Yeah, it doesn't have over there.
it doesn't have over there. Whereas the people that talk about it or cast it don't have that same kind of stigma. So, let's call so like say Jester, when someone says, "Oh, what do you do?" I cast esports. I do commentaries. I do all this. It's not the same kind of thing as saying, "Oh, I play StarCraft."
Sorry,
Sean's
go
really
on.
cool about it, though. You know, like he's real smooth. He talks about how he casts things and like. Last time I met him, like he was holding off girls. It's pretty ridiculous.
Holding on to this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh.
But you know,
Aw.
every time I go to the internet and say, "Oh, I do commentaries," people are like, "Oh, what game? Where can I find it?" If I in real life I say, "Oh, I do commentaries," like,
Huh.
Do what?
Can you give me an example?
Kind of
Like,
commentaries.
think Joe Madden or Joe or
John Madden?
John.
Oh,
Joe
Oh!
Madden, John Terry. Think, you know, any of those
The
sports
Canadian
commentators.
comes out.
And they're like,
There's this
okay,
guy named
so
Bartos
you do this on
who's-
TV? I'm like, no, I give up. It's so hard. Like, the people that know what you do or at least know the definitions is so much different to talk to.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, you just sound silly. Like, so yeah, I talk over players that are playing video games. I tell them what they're doing. They're like, well, don't they have eyes? Like, I give up.
So here's a question, and you made an interesting point. Like you brought up television and that. Like, how do
Yeah.
you think like an esport channel would do on television?
In
Terribly.
America,
Right now,
probably
terribly.
not any good. No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but
It's-
you need
Well,
millions of
Matter
viewers.
in a little while.
Why?
I mean,
Yeah,
not right
why?
now, but in like a few years. Like, do you think it might? I mean, it would be something that you would watch. I mean, I know I would, but I
I'd
don't know
watch-
if other
see-
people would.
I mean, knowing what I do about the broadcast industry, they'd need at least a few million viewers on a regular basis to
Yeah.
even remotely make it
We
worth
might
their
hit
while.
hundreds of thousands, but that's it. Like a random football game on a Sunday can hit what 10, 20 million.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you're
it's
talking
easy.
about local stations. I mean, you get into like the cable channels and these other smaller operations and they don't really require that many viewers. I mean, You look at like Fox Soccer Channel. How many viewers do you think they get? I mean, they probably get a lot, but not nearly as much as like ESPN.
True.
So I mean, I actually think like an esports channel would actually get a lot more viewers than Fox Soccer Channel, and I'm a huge soccer fan. I'm too fat to play it, and I usually think about eating the soccer ball, but
It's a marshmallow.
it's like a black and white marshmallow. But
So
I think if well, I mean, because here's the thing. If I want to watch a tournament or something, I have to sit like in front of my computer, or I have to put my laptop up to my TV or stuff like that in order to watch it. Like, I would love to just sit on my couch, flip to a station, and then see like a show about the esports scene, or see like a tournament going on of StarCraft 2 or Han or Dota 2 or things like that. I mean, because let's be honest, there's millions and millions of people that play these games. I mean, League of Legends has 15 million accounts. You know, Dota 2 is probably, I mean, Dota 2 is going to be huge. StarCraft is huge. You know, there's these huge games, but there's not really, I don't know. I think it would, I think it'd get a decent amount of viewers. It's just me, though.
It'd take
Now, a
a
show on a channel, probably, as a starting point. But
Yeah.
a
Okay,
full
but then-
channel right out the bat? Probably
Yeah.
wouldn't.
No,
Heavy
because
D.
listen, you put something on like G4, you get these annoying women that guys think are cute, you know, that end up, you know, releasing nude photos of themselves on accident. And some of them aren't really that cute. I'm just
It's
saying.
accident?
Like,
Is that what it
I wouldn't
is?
want someone like G4 to do it. I wouldn't want them to do it, but they're the only station that I think could handle something like that, which is unfortunate.
yes.
Yeah, G4 is incompetent. That's it.
Let's not sugarcoat.
No sure.
Well,
G4,
yeah,
please be our
more.
sponsor.
The only thing that annoys me more is when I go into a GameStop and they have their like little GameStop television show going on. Oh my gosh! Like, where do they find these people? It's like, let me look at you. You got a nice ass, pretty good rack. You're hired. I mean, come on.
You have no knowledge of
Okay,
any
so-
games.
Yeah.
Yes, Heavy D, that means you're hired.
He's hitting on you. You don't have to take that. You have rights.
Yes, he has a right to come to my house.
Not in the States, he doesn't.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm leaving that one alone.
The prettiest
Maybe-
girl in the cast.
Does anybody remember Sundance was, it was, I guess, about 3 MOGs ago, maybe?
Mhm.
Right.
Sometime last year. He said he was actually sitting down in the VIP booth at MLG during one of the tournaments with the ESPN director, and he said, guys, if you want this to happen, you know, you got to show your support. And then we didn't hear anything about it, like 6 months later. So I'm still thinking that we're just not hitting those.
We're
Yeah.
not hitting the
TV
numbers.
stations need in order to even get a pilot show out.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not
but
hitting
couldn't
the.
this just go back to Dyrus streaming during a
Yeah.
event and
Yeah.
not being able to add all those numbers together? I mean, if the tournament organizers were able to get all of those viewers onto one stream, we would actually have the correct numbers to, you know, maybe pitch something like a esports television program. You know, not even a full network, but you know, just a single television program.
Yeah. But you, damn it, I had a thought and it just left.
That happens.
It walked
It
away.
happens a lot, eh?
Yeah,
Here's the
it
thing.
does.
Think
A,
about it. If there's like
there
a
comes Canadian.
half-hour show on G4, let's just say there's a half-hour show on G4 that went through like maybe, you know, what's going on in the esports scene. Maybe had like the 5 top plays of the week from among all the games that they cover, and that I think it'd be a hit. Like I think that people would watch it.
So then here is a question. My thought came back. Where it comes to getting viewers, will things like Dota 2's in-game viewer really affect, you know, getting the numbers that we want? If like Toby Wan's going to somebody saying, you know, I want to try and start showing a show here, but I got 6,000 viewers on stream, but I don't know how many thousands I have in-game.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually lock out the spectators in game.
Okay.
So when you create the match, you can actually set it so that no spectators and only the people that have joined the
Spectator
the actual
side.
game themselves,
Yeah.
like Toby and his co-caster and the other staff, can watch the game and stream it.
Okay. Well, that's good.
As well, whenever Join Dota hosts a tournament, they don't allow the players to stream the games.
Like they should.
Yeah, like they should.
Right.
So after all this, it looks like we've come back to our previous point that while it is possible that esports could be breaking out we're shooting ourselves in the foot by basically muddying the waters of
Yeah.
what we have.
Everybody's trying to grab as much of the pie as they can, and it could end up just destroying the pie and not making it a bigger pie.
Yeah, like
Is
us.
that
Well, they're going to eat it all. But
Yeah, or they'll eat it all. But I mean, like,
No,
okay,
I love
this is a
pie.
kind of
Well,
something I wanted to bring up. I know it
What
might
kind
anger
of pie,
some.
though? What kind of pie?
Oh,
Yeah,
Cottage
somebody said
cheese.
pie and I got
strawberry
distracted.
rhubarb.
Sorry.
Strawberry
The
rhubarb.
fat guys are like pie.
So then, here's what I want to question. As Jester has pointed out in previous episodes, that like Riot will go as far as paying to keep other games out of tournaments. Am I correct with that? Or they like
that's what I've been told.
right,
Yeah.
like they'll put up so much money that it bumps out any other game. And do you think that Riot could be creating this artificial bubble of esports that could just burst and really kind of destroy the whole scene? Or will it hopefully pick up and just go in spite of that? Or, is that affecting it all? Because, like, look at the .com bubble. Suddenly everybody's got to have a .com. And then it just turned out to not really be that necessary, and it crashed really hard. And, so is this something that Riot's doing, trying to get too much too fast? And they're just going to, end up shooting themselves in the foot in the end? What do you think, Heavy?
Who wants to take this one first?
Riot is shooting all of us in the foot, but I mean, Riot's trying to Riot's trying to they're trying to build themselves the correct environment in which they prosper in, and that will work. But it'll only work for some time.
Yeah.
And you're right, they're building a bubble, but I'm not sure it'll pop if if Dota 2 doesn't make it out, or I mean, Han is clearly, as Jester
Dead
put
and
it out on
buried.
Twitter this morning, Han is like dead last, or at least in third. And then you've got other games like Bloodline Champions and stuff like that are just not generating the
Right.
hype that League of Legends will.
Yeah.
And it'll come down to League of Legends and Dota 2, and I don't think Dota 2 will pull in the viewers that League of Legends has.
Yeah, it's even, I guess I want to say, more complicated than League of Legends. I mean, it's the same game effectively, but it's, and from my opinion, it's just a little harder to watch. I mean,
Hope you have a fireproof house or something, because you just call Dota 2 the same as League of Legends.
no,
And,
in the sense that they're
all
both
of your
top-down
viewers
view.
are coming for you.
They're both top-down view games. They're both, point and click. It's not a first-person shooter. It's not a strictly RTS game. It's
Here's the other thing, though. I mean, just going back to like the Dota 2 versus League of Legends thing, I think Heavy D's on to something. I don't think Dota 2 will get the
Bacon.
viewers and everything that League of Legends does to start, because League of Legends, the reason why a lot of people view these tournaments is because of the players that they're fans of. You get like Hotshot GG and Dyrus and these people that have a lot of fans that they'll go and watch these tournaments and everything. And right now, there's not a whole lot of Dota 2 players, I think, that are as well known as a lot of the League of Legends players. There's some, but not as many.
yeah.
So I think we'll have to give Dota some time to get established and everything, and get the whole, these teams in place and everything before you'll start to see the same kind of numbers. And it also depends on, like Heavy D posted something on the site today about it, maybe going free to play. So if it is free to play,
Yeah.
Dota
It's
2 will
going
need to
out
go
there.
free to play in order to compete with League of Legends.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No,
I
you
don't think
don't think
I don't think they'll go free to play. I just don't.
Why not?
I think Dota 2 has to go free to play. I think they will, solely because they have the in-game store already.
Yeah.
Cyborg Matt, whose blog has fantastic, always shows predictions and stuff like that, and he always has an in-depth look on what's coming out in the next patch. He's always finding goodies in the store, and I think Valve is looking to set up Dota 2 a lot like they set up Team Fortress 2,
yeah.
only in a more evolved state. And I think Dota 2 actually needs to go free to play if they want to compete with League of Legends. And if they do go free to play, they will have a huge leg up by already having an in-game spectator system.
Yeah.
They will go by having a mentoring system, and by giving every single person that gets the game the ability to play every single champ or hero that is in the game, rather than limiting them to 11 a week
Yeah, well, I mean, is that some of the draw for League of Legends is the fact that, you kind of have to level up and it's like, I want to get that character, so I got to play X number of games to get that character, and, oh, yeah, I got the character, now I get to play with him. And, it's like the same reason, what was Yahtzee put it best, like in Minecraft. It's a good parent because it makes you work for what you want to build, until creative mode came out. But, you had to, when you're showing off your large structure, you're like, look at all that work I put into that. That's really cool. And so you're more proud of it because you had to work for it versus it was all handed to you. Like if you're in Dota 2, you get all the
I told
champions
that
handed
to my
you.
wife on my wedding night, but she still wasn't impressed. Look at the large structure. I put a lot of work into it. Didn't really work.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
So, that's that. But if anybody wants to come on and argue any points, feel free to call us.
Yeah,
I'd
call
love
us
to,
up on perfect.rain on Skype.
Yeah, I would love to have some arguments going on.
Well,
I mean,
I don't think I'll argue, but I just want to say, like, you talked about the esport bubble, and we've already had one bubble pop. I mean, just this weekend or last weekend when I found out all about Fatality and his previous exploit, he won $125,000 for Quake Live back in like 1998.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, why don't you hear about this? Why don't we have this legacy? Because everything went pop. And that's what Riot's kind of building up to. $5 million this year. Great. They're going to do it next year. And if not, guess what? There's going to be riots. No. Not intended.
See
So,
what
If they
you
go
did there.
higher, that means more money's being infused to it, which means they just have to keep going bigger and bigger and bigger, and that goes into this pop.
Yeah.
Now, Dota 2 also, kind of started this by doing the 7-digit club, the $1 million prize pool,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean, it's a lot of hype. You get a lot of players some money,
Yeah.
but, what's Valve's next tournament going to be? Is it going to be still 7 digits? If not, there's going to be haters out there saying, well, why isn't there not as much money? That's why I don't think it can go free-to-play, because I don't see themselves supporting themselves on a free-to-play model to the extent that they want to. I have no evidence at this point to say, and I've had this opinion since the Gamescom, that they're not going free-to-play. I just cannot see it.
That's an incredibly good point, though, that if they do put out a free-to-play game with, like, if they do put out a free-to-play game, it will be very hard. It would be very hard for a normal company to sustain $1 million tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Valve.
Yeah.
I would say that Valve makes. Let's put it this way: Riot does have a parent company that makes lots and lots of money, but that parent company could cut off Riot no problem. They see it as a nice revenue source,
Mm-hmm.
and so they let it go and they allow them to have the $5 million tournaments. But Riot's parent company could easily cut Riot off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Valve, on the other hand, is solely a game developer and a games retailer. They can put as much money into Dota 2 as they want to.
Yeah.
And,
They will put as much money as they can.
With an in-game store, they can make as much money as Riot, as well as take money from their other revenue sources, of which they have many,
Yeah.
and put them towards Dota 2.
Yeah. And do you think Riot has to worry about that with the getting cut off kind of method? If they don't put out the kind of numbers that their parent company's expecting, and they're just like,
No.
we'll give you one more try.
No.
And,
There's so many people buying RP. It's ridiculous. So
Yeah. When you can get it
Plus,
at Best Buy.
because I know because I am the parent company.
Yeah, you spend a lot of money.
You heard it here first, everyone.
That's right.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So where's this in-game store? I don't see it.
In Dota 2?
I heard
Yeah.
something about it.
Actually, the in-game store isn't built in yet. Again, this is Dota 2 is in beta, so there are a lot of features that aren't put in yet. But Cyborg, if you go over to Cyborg Matt's blog, he has several blog posts from the past few test patches where you're able to see that you can equip your champions with or your heroes or whatever. I always mix them up with various different things. Hats is the most common theme with Valve.
Of course.
But there's rumors that you'll be able to put some of the items that you can buy in the shop that you would buy as a standard build for your character. Some of the more popular items you'll be able to have permanently equipped on your character. things like that.
Will
aesthetically.
that permanently affect the
Okay.
stats of your character?
All right.
sorry,
Aesthetically,
no,
yeah.
will
I
not
was going to
affect-
say, where's that aesthetic part?
I was like, geez, I'd love to start at level 1, fully decked out in gear.
You start
Yeah.
at level 1, and
I'm
immediately you can have all the items. You don't even need to have them equipped. No, I'm kidding. It's all aesthetic. They're not actually on the character.
Okay,
But your
it's
character looks like a badass holding.
my favorite saying for that is it's not pay to win, it's pay to skin.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I would wager that League of Legends actually is pay to win. What with um,
Really?
runes,
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
and so
That's not a debate.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you have your choice
except
between
that's
time
not
or
really
money.
pay to win, though. You can't buy runes with real money. I mean,
You
no, but you
can.
can buy IP boosts.
Yes, you can buy IP boosts, and that gives you extra IP that you can use to buy runes.
See, really, it's a question
You can buy
between
all of
time and money. If you
Yeah.
want to put enough time into it, you don't need to put any money into it.
Right.
here's
Right.
here's my question.
If I was unemployed, League of Legends would be fantastic.
Okay, so Dota 2.
But since I'm employed,
I have
it
two
sucks.
questions. Okay, I have two questions about Dota 2 because I haven't played it. I've played one game of Dota 2. Do games still take like 3 hours to finish?
Yes. Yes.
And
Only
do
when
melee
they're really
characters with
good.
silences just end everybody?
Okay, so to answer his first question, yes, games still take 3 hours, and there are a few reasons why they take so long. The first reason is that there is no surrender function in the game. So if you are getting beaten, you
Oh,
are
yeah.
at the whim of your better overlords. All right, they will. What I like to do, and I'm not saying I do this often, but what I like to do is go in, destroy all of their towers, and then have my entire team leave their base and just taunt the other team. Looks like you guys have a creep problem, as they try and valiantly defend their base against like a million mega creeps. That's not a very good system. Whether or not they put in a surrender function, well, I guess it's up to Valve, and if they do, that might speed things up a little bit. But what was your second question, Daniel?
Do melee characters with 8-second silences still exist?
Absolutely.
I played a
wouldn't
mage
they?
character. Like I was up against this melee character, and he just like stunned me for like 8-9 seconds. I just literally sat there unable to move.
You're up against the Night Stalker, is my assumption.
Yeah.
Nah, permanently stunned, I would say either Faceless Void or anybody with a skull
With a
basher.
basher. Yeah, with a
Yeah.
basher. Those things do exist, Manuel, but that's why it's a team game. Like 1-on-5, he's still gonna lose. But 1-on-1, he might win. But that's the way the hero's designed. Those carries are meant to win those duels.
Yeah,
And
Dota
that's
2
just
is like...
No. But this is after he snowballed. He just like killed our entire team. Like
You
no problem.
see the
He's just
same
like,
thing in League of
just-
Legends. You snowball
Really?
someone really hard, and you see Graves and Caitlyn and Severe take out an entire team. No problem.
I
Yeah,
feel like it's amplified in
Pentacles.
Dota 2, whereas in League
It
of
is
Legends
amplified.
you see it less often, but it can happen. I mean, I have personally as
I think you got
Caitlyn
that
just
backwards,
taken out
I'm
entire
sorry, Henry.
teams.
You got that backwards. It's not amplified in Dota 2. It's just more casual-fied in League of Legends because it was always there in Dota.
That's right. 'Cause originally in Dota, I mean, Dota was it was brutal. Dota
Yeah.
2, I feel like, is a little bit dialed down, but it's
Maybe I'm
not
just
as nearly
I'm-
as casual as League.
I must just be used to League of Legends now because I remember playing Dota. Like I played Dota for years.
I
but
will say that is the truth.
I just don't remember getting like stunned for 8 seconds or something like that. It's just
It's always been there.
Well,
And yes, it
it's a
sucks.
bit of a transition. First of all, I had like a year off of Dota before I went to League of Legends. So when I went to League of Legends, even though I was, a little taken back by how easy it is,
so, yeah.
it wasn't as bad because I had that year off. Going from League of Legends to Dota 2, I mean, that was a transition, my friend. Denying, snowballing, I mean, just getting destroyed in the worst way possible and having the other person,
Taunt you.
talk in less appropriate ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brutal. But once you get into it and you realize that Dota 2 is actually a much bigger game than League of Legends is, and there's a lot more to it. The characters are actually different than each other. And
What?
there
Are you
there
saying some
so
of the
many
League
different
of Legends
archetypes.
characters are
It's just
similar?
a bigger game.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: Do they have the Phantom Lancer in here?
No, they do not have Phantom Lancer back in.
Well, then I'm not going to play it till they put it in the
Syllabear is coming this week. Or Syllabear, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, the Lone Druid Lycan was just added. They're still down like 40 heroes, though.
Yeah, Phantom Lancer was awesome just because you could sit there and, like, make infinite copies of yourself and be like, ha-ha.
So then, since we have, like, really crushed the League of Legends and Dota 2 talk on this, do you think that due to the success of League of Legends that the MOBA scene is going to be where it's at where it comes to esports, or do you think that first-person shooters and, fighting games and StarCraft 2, obviously StarCraft 2 can, but will they be able to compete in this heavily MOBA world and get in the kind of viewership or advertising or, the money?
Or numbers.
Yeah,
We're just
or
talking
the
about
pure
sheer numbers. I mean, do as many people want to watch someone play Call of Duty as, say, Dyrus?
That comparison, no, but anything with skill, people will watch because it's hard. I mean, that's the point of having it require skill. And that's why people will always watch their betters. I mean,
Right.
That's a huge reason for why I watch pros. I like to see how they handle this situation
Yeah.
because when I've come up against that, I've failed really hard. So how does he do it? How does he succeed? How can I take that into my own gameplay? That's why StarCraft is never going to go anywhere in viewership numbers. That's why the fighting game community would never go anywhere like down in terms of numbers because like those button mashers, oh my God, they're not mashing buttons at random. They're cold and calculated and they can predict things I can't even think about. And it's
Right.
awesome to watch because that I can admire that guy's level of skill. Anything with skill will always have an audience.
So then theoretically, by that scale, Dota 2 would get more viewers in the end? If it would be more skilled to play?
He didn't say that more skill would increase
This is
viewership.
true.
He just said skill will have viewers.
Well, I guess it depends on if you have a...
Say that,
Go ahead.
okay. That isn't to say that, I mean, like, it's hard to judge skill based on the game,
Yeah.
A really
Yeah, it
skilled
is.
Dota 2 player and a really skilled League of Legends player might have what is skill, really?
Yeah.
It's how well you are at the game. So,
It's relative to the game.
Yeah.
yeah, it's relative to the game. So,
Oh
I mean,
my
a
God.
really skilled League of Legends player and a really skilled Dota 2 player, I mean, where do they stack up? The League of Legends player is going to get more viewers right now, no doubt.
Right.
Absolutely.
But
you-
it doesn't
hold on.
mean that
So
the Dota
then
2 player is
that
more
would
skilled.
fall into the fact that in order to have a successful esport, you have to have a very large casual game or base. Because if you don't have the casual base, then you're not going to have the people who even care about the game. I mean,
That's
StarCraft,
a growing trend.
right?
Which is why I think Dota 2 will actually fall short in the long run.
Yeah,
Because I don't think Dota 2 has a very casual game.
it's a very
Not
intense
casual
game.
friendly.
Yeah, it's not
No,
casual
it's not-
friendly.
the community is the least casual friendly thing ever, but I think the League of Legends community also has a very, unfriendly community, especially in the lower levels.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
But
does.
Yeah,
I
won't deny that.
League of Legends is already well established. I mean, I know Dota has years of history on League of Legends, and
But it's
what
irrelevant,
is it,
really.
Pendragon and Ginsu both worked on Dota, but League of Legends is already established now, and Dota 2 is coming in late to the party. They have
Yeah.
a lot to. They have a. I am an advocate for Dota 2. I'm a Dota 2 enthusiast, and I still don't think that Dota 2 will be able to pull down the numbers like League of Legends does.
So then, pretty much, we're going to be watching League of Legends until it bursts its own
You're
bubble.
stuck with it until it bursts, and then it's just
Right.
dreams.
What
of
about
pro
other
players.
games, other MOBA genres that are coming up or planning that would be under the same kind of thing? So, like, say, casual
Like
friendly,
what? Super Monday Night Combat.
or any of the other myriad MOBA genres that are
There's
coming
a
out.
lot of MOBAs to still come out, that's for sure. But
yeah, like,
once
say
you
something like
saturate
that.
the market. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many people they're going to split off into.
I think Super Monday Night Combat would be super fun to watch as long as it was casted.
Yeah.
Correctly. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you had a good spectator mode. There's
Yeah.
there's an awesome feature I actually found when I was playing it the other day, or spectating a replay. If you hit Alt, it gives you the map overview. Like you get the top-down view from everything. So you could be like following somebody, and then you want to say, well, he's going it this way, and then hit Alt real quick, and then bam, you're up top, and you be like, he's got nobody around him. You can tell here because it's very difficult. One thing I was actually concerned about is like since we want to run a tournament would be how are we going to cast this game because it's like a MOBA, so it's team based. So I'm guessing we'll be casting it kind of like a Call of Duty game, but there's still a lot of general overviews that you want to be able to see. that maybe aren't quite so important in some other first-person shooters because it's either the teams usually stick together in a very figurative sense that they don't want to just fan out and have to defend the different lanes. You got to keep tabs on two different areas at the same time.
Executive
It's
function.
kind of like you have to cast it in a mashup of League of Legends or Counter-Strike / Call of Duty, which
Well, what do you do right now for Halo? Right now, it's you follow around the different players,
Right.
hoping that you can catch like that intense action. Most of the time, they do because they have that awareness and they can understand where these hot spots are. So as long as they can focus on one player in that area, if they see someone getting focused, they can switch to it and see those awesome plays. But in MOBA, you also got those big objectives. That map,
Yeah.
that top down, that push, the annihilator.
Yeah.
How can you get an essence of a good blend of Halo casting and MOBA casting?
It'll
That's
be
something
tricky.
that, well, we're going to have to see what,
Yeah.
who makes it? Epic Games?
No, Ubernet makes Super
Ubernet.
Monday Night
Why did I
Combat.
think Epic
Nah,
Games?
hold
Weird.
on.
Epic, Uber, it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, they're both awesome.
Okay, well, whatever
Uber
they
makes a
do,
less muddy-looking game.
like,
Yeah.
their replay system, fine, but it's still first-person views, right?
Third.
You can do it's
Third?
you can do a floating camera and you can do a locked-on third-person view.
And that's
locked on
okay, I
first
think, if they can get that live for, like, have that floating camera over top of the players that you can
Oh,
switch
sure.
between.
Yeah, I don't
toggle
like
into the first person.
No,
I
it's
think that's
game-wise. I
right,
don't see
but-
any reason why they couldn't.
I mean, it's a third-person shooter. It's not actually a first-person shooter. So
I'm just interested to see what kind of direction they're going to take with their spectator.
yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
it will be interesting.
I hope to actually ask them that at PAX again.
Yeah.
Join the club. Wait, we have to do our respective sides. There.
What are we
Yes. Hey, guess what?
You're going to IPL 4?
Well, no, I am, but no, I got
It's 5 minutes away. Remember?
I got tickets to go see Wrath of the Titans.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
Cool. We're happy for you.
Movie Wrath of the Titans. I got advanced screen tickets.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Because I'm
Wow.
awesome, that's why.
Apparently, I'm not keeping up with my movie data here. But,
Yeah.
Good esports interjection there, Daniel.
Yeah.
It is. It is very good. Very
Oh,
good.
and,
Nice job,
and I
Sugar
saw that
Tits.
they added the Sand, and I saw that the Sand King is in Dota 2, so I'm happy now.
Oh, they do an update? No,
No, well,
Sand King's been in for a while.
Sand King's been in there for a while. I just haven't been on Dota 2 for a long time.
yeah, we got that. You're waiting for Phantom Lancer.
I'm waiting for Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
So
He should actually be soon. He got a whole bunch of assets added in the last patch.
Oh,
Yeah, Cyborg Matt's like the place to go. We got to get him on Mobile Weekly sometime. Or
Yeah.
beyond that.
He's awesome. What he finds in these patches is absurd.
cool.
Now, like, other things that's coming up, I mean, did you guys see that the Heroes of New Earth crew was actually at MLG this weekend? And they had numerous tweets saying they're meeting with Sundance. Thanks for the meeting, Sundance. See you at MLG, Sundance.
Interesting.
I don't know. I still peg them as a distant third in the MOBA scene, but who knows?
Who's that?
I don't know.
Who's what? S2? Heroes of New Earth? You know, that other MOBA that people play?
5 people play.
Ah,
I mean,
okay.
wait, what?
5, man.
I mean, don't you
10,
think
10.
that?
There's
Don't you
2
think
teams.
that Heroes of New Earth is really going to get crushed by Dota 2 since it's the same game, just different names?
It's really not anymore, though. Like, ever since the Dota lawsuit, and they had to cut off the actual porting of the original Heroes,
Right.
they've really gone and made it their own. They've changed a lot of the core around, and I mean, I still have people that play Heroes of New Earth and Dota 2, and even just Dota, and you know, there's still these differences that get to you.
A quick,
Yeah.
well then, a quick refresher for those who don't know what the lawsuit was about. Explain the lawsuit real fast.
It was like, God, year and a half, 2 years ago or
Yeah, a
something.
bit.
Right after, I think, Flint Beastwood came out, they had to, quote, stop porting over the original Heroes because that's when it was like public knowledge that Ice Frog was working on Dota 2 with Valve, and Valve had filed a trademark for Dota.
Yeah.
So they're like S2
And
games
that's been
never
going
came out.
well.
S2 Games never came out and said
tried.
that they've been legally binded to stop, but
Right.
there's been a lot of paste bin of IRC chats that, if you read between the lines, yeah, they've been legally reprimanded to stop doing original
interesting.
Dota Heroes because they don't own the work. Ice Frog does, who works for Valve. But I don't think Valve won the trademark battle for.
I don't
Dota,
think they
did
did.
Still ongoing.
As I
It's
say,
still
isn't it
going,
still
yeah.
going
But
on
I think
for?
right now it's in
Oh.
Blizzard's favor because of the terms of service for the map creation, right?
Yeah.
Also, Yule, the original creator of Dota, also works for Valve.
Oh, really? Didn't know that part.
Yes.
Because
Yes,
Ice Frog
so-
took it when it
Blizzard
turned into
venting
Dota All
that.
Stars, isn't he?
I don't. Well, I find it interesting that Blizzard didn't really care for a while. I also found it interesting that Pendragon originally tried to make the trademark after League of Legends had been created,
Yeah.
and tried to give it to Blizzard. So
Yeah.
it's a little shady.
I don't know, but that's when we saw these big changes come to Heroes of Newerth that really tried to differentiate itself away from Dota. For example, a big thing, courier metagame. Totally different in Heroes of Newerth. Another big thing, runes. They don't spawn at 0 anymore. In Heroes of Newerth, they spawn at 2 minutes going forward. There's a little other things that just add up to, a different set of rules that you play by.
The one thing I did like, I'll be honest, I hated Heroes of Newerth. Mostly the UI bugged me, but the one thing I loved about Heroes of Newerth, and that I haven't seen any other MOBA do for some ungodly reason, is that Heroes of Newerth allows you to select a guide by which to set your item build to.
Yeah, that's a really cool feature.
That's the best feature I've ever seen in a video game. Why haven't more people done that?
Done what?
For those that don't know, when you load up a hero, you can actually, in the shop, set yourself to adhere to a guide written by a community member or an S2 member. And you can literally auto-level your skills, and they'll give you the breakdown of items, what you need to build, what kind of actions and how much harassment you want to be doing, what kind of items are good, what are bad, and it will literally auto-level all your skills for you, and you've got to buy the items to match the guide. And if you follow the guide, you will typically do well. They're all community voted, which means that they're going to come up in an order of preference of likes and dislikes. So the ones at 99% typically are very good ones. But you can also, if you want to run a carry of a champion, you can select the carry guide. Or if you want to run the support version, just select the support version of that guide.
Fascinating.
And it'll literally just tell you how you can learn how to play this hero, and it'll auto-level your skills for you. It's a really good feature.
Yeah, just what we need, more noobs using guides.
How else do you learn those heroes?
It'd be better to have a noob with a guide than a
Are
noob
you
without
going to tell
one.
me you do not go to League Craft, you don't go to Mobile Fire, you don't go to Team Solo Mid, and as soon as those new heroes come out, you don't look at those guides?
Nope. Nope, it's called not being a noob. You get your ass handed to you a certain amount of times. No,
that's why you're
like
2300
ass
elo, right?
handed to you.
Yep, 300 elo.
The fact of the matter is, a lot of people depend on guides written by their betters or their peers, and this is a game integrated version of it. That's really good.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Well, no, and that's fine, but following a guide, it really isn't going to make someone a better player. I mean, it all comes down to learning a skill set. No, it's not going to. I guess it's not going to hurt, but it's not going to necessarily help them. I mean, anyone can look up a guide, and it's kind of a cool feature to integrate, but it's not going to make them a better player.
I would rather have a guide available for the noob that's playing with me to have an idea that he may be able to, sustain himself and not just drag everybody else down with him.
You're not supposed to rely on the guide. You're not supposed to use the guide as a crutch. You're supposed to use the guide as just that, a guide to help you learn. If you
but if you've never
associate
played that before,
that character with the guide and what the guide tells you to build, that opens up a few other characters for you. So you're able to learn more characters through that one guide. Okay, let me put it like this: if you're following an AP guide for brand, it pretty much sets up what you should be buying for other AP champions.
Yeah, of the same style.
Yeah, and really, you should only be using the guide for build order, or ability order.
Yeah, but the guide will also come with hints. It's just like, your ultimate. Don't cast it when you're going one-on-one because it's not going to bounce anywhere. Wait till you get to a 2-on-1 scenario or with creep so it can bounce and do more damage.
Yep.
Without those kind of tips, and noobs come in and they're like, oh, I'm just going to go one-on-one, and then they lose. And they're like, well, this character sucks and never play him again. No, if you have those tips there in the beginning highlighted for you, it helps you be a better player. And then eventually you don't need the guide. You just move on.
There are tips though, like they're not as in depth as saying
tips when your death
die
comes up. Yeah,
what?
sure. There's tips when your death recount comes up. Sure.
Yeah.
That's a little too late by then.
Very true.
You can see all that stuff in the champion screen too, though. Like before the game, like it's all in there.
How many people even know how to click on their champion to look at their info?
So okay, if they're that retarded, then not to be able to look at something before they go into the game,
What
what
if
makes
they're
you think that's
new?
going to help them?
Daniel,
I-
there's 32 billion players there. You got to take into all intellect levels.
Yeah.
Screw
Thanks.
this. I'm going to Dota 2.
So what I was gonna actually, what I was gonna say with the champions, like when I started playing League of Legends, like first loading it up, that interface was just like, what?
Yeah,
What the
double
hell do I do? I see the play button, but
That's it.
yeah, you're like,
Play.
okay, click it, and then stuff starts happening. You're like, what the hell's going on? And they have the tutorials and stuff, but who goes through those?
There was a Reddit thread from Riot Janook, one of the bloody game designers, saying, today I learned that you could filter in a champion select screen your champions by tag. Like he typed in carry into the search and it brought up all the carries he had available to him. He only learned that 3 years after the game came out. So, like, if he didn't know,
Yeah.
what are the chances that everybody else knows?
Right.
Riot's code is so bad, their own developers don't even know.
Okay, I think it was
going
like
on?
2 years. I don't think League of Legends been out for 3 years yet. It's 3 years October.
Yeah,
right?
it's 2009.
Yeah.
That'll be 3 years October.
Yeah, it's been you're right.
October?
Yeah,
I don't know. I got it in April.
That was
Well,
beta,
yeah, I did
probably.
too, but that was beta.
That was beta.
Right. Oh, okay.
I'm talking about official release. It's coming up on 3 years, but like the interface for new players, like you open up the shop in Heroes and Earth, bam, there's a guide. You can just select whichever
yeah.
one.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can learn right then and there. Everything else is kind of hidden in League, and I don't see any option like that for Dota either.
I see.
Well, let's, I guess, kind of start working on the wrapping up part of it. I did promise a CS:GO key and a Super Monday Night Combat key, so I guess tweet it one more time and we'll kind of work on wrapping it up.
So what do you guys want to see
Yeah.
esports wise going forward in the future? Do you want if you could have your wish granted as far as esports becoming more than what it is, what would it be? Like how would you like to see it improved? Jester.
No, I think Vanny had a point. Or not.
Oh, no. My wish,
Yeah,
I actually
go for
have
it.
two. A Triumphant Rise skin.
For the
I'm
betterment of
actually saying
esports, obviously. Yeah.
For the betterment of esports. And two, I want to see more quality tournaments and streams that I wouldn't mind like we talked about earlier, like a not necessarily a TV station, but at least like a show or something, half hour, an hour, once a week or something that goes through it all. I mean, I think that right there on a network like G4 would do more for esports than any of these, tournaments would. I mean, I think it's just awareness right now.
So would you
Yeah.
want more production quality across the board, or are you talking about more production quality, more quality caster-wise, stream-wise, etc.?
No, none of that. I mean, I think we have a good mix of casters. We have a good mix of quality streams in that. It's just right now it's a lot of it I think is awareness. I mean, when you look at a stream and it's got 16,000 people, that's great. Or you look at like DreamHack that got 100,000 people. I mean, that's awesome. But in the whole scheme of things, 100,000 people isn't a whole lot. So I would like to see, like maybe like a TV show somewhere just for awareness purposes. I think that'll do more for esports than anything else.
Like advertisements on ESPN or something like that? Even?
No. I mean, just like an hour show that goes through the tournaments and the different games and things like that, interviews with players, just like on television, though, on a network. Like,
But then the question
G4
is,
would be a good one.
with the problem with that, I think, lies where, people that play the games and would typically watch those tournaments will probably want to watch a more specific show about their game versus a general about everything, I mean, you'll, of course, get the casual gamers that are kind of curious about everything, but the problem, I think the biggest problem right now is that there's so much content people are just overloaded. They don't know what to pick, and so they just don't pick anything. It's, there's like an analogy of that where if you're walking down the street and somebody's trying to sell you something, if you give 3 choices, it's like 79% more likely that you'll pick something versus if you have 100 choices, you'll look at it, get confused, think about it too much, and end up walking away with it's like 15 or 20% of the people actually pick something.
Right, but think about it this way. If you're bored on your computer, okay, and you don't like a tournament or a stream that's going on, you're just going to go watch something else, okay? A lot of people, a lot of gamers in that, when they're just sitting on their duff, on their couch, whatever, they just want to watch something, they turn on G4, they're going to watch whatever's on G4. They don't care what it is. I mean, it could be that's just, I talk to a lot of people all the time that they just watch G4. That's what they do. They might have 2 TVs and they have G4 on and then they play their game. Granted, a lot of it is console gaming, which is the downside of all that, is that most of the G4 watchers are all, they're all console gamers, not PC gamers. So that's really the downside, I guess. But I don't know. There's just got to be more awareness out there for the average person, the average gamer.
Gotcha. All right. So Heavy D, the same question to you. If you could have like one or multiple, thank you, Vaniel.
Multiple. All right, that's what we're gonna go with because I have like 8.
Fingers.
The first thing I want to
you
see
should get that
in esports is more titties, and by that what I actually mean is hold on, and by that what I actually mean is I would like to see a rise in female players actually playing the game and doing better, as well as casters and just people talent. In some way.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, especially casters-wise. There are not very many good female casters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we got Silver
Quality
Dirge.
cast.
That's it.
As long as
Quality
Pico from
casters as
Curse
well.
never casts anything, I can't stand Pico from Curse.
All right.
From Curse?
Yeah, can't stand her.
All right.
Wait, sorry. Who's from Curse?
Pico. She does their weekly roundups every week.
Oh, okay. I must be out of the loop on that one, but sorry.
You are.
Continue, Heavy D.
It's all right. I was interested.
Oh, sorry. You do have your fun.
Ooh. Don't tempt them.
That's all right. Overall quality of both the casters and especially in the MOBA scene, and again that Kyle guy got it right again. Showing a little class in showing up to these tournaments and being at these tournaments. Is it Reginald? Yeah, it's Reginald that is the big brofist guy, right? He's the guy that's always
Reggie Bro.
Yeah, exactly. Baylife. Yeah. That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to him. I think he's a fine player, and he sounds like a fun guy. I would love to invite him over for a beer bong or a keg stand or something like that. But as far as, actually talking and being a advocate or a face for MOBA gaming, I really feel like he's, hurting us. Making us take a step back here.
Yeah, it's making people look at it and say, oh, it's a bunch of Jersey Shore guys playing games.
Yeah. And we're not. We're basement-dwelling nerds, not Jersey Shore guys. What the hell? We're all virgins.
Especially just.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait a second.
Baylife, bro. Those two things, along with my other point, which just... There it goes.
It flew away. Yeah.
Oh, well, shit.
All right, 5 more. Go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, Dota 2 to be finished next week. $bajillion for me.
For the betterment of esports, I think you'll look at
esports. People to stop wearing socks with sandals.
Shut up. I'm doing that right now because I'm at home.
Okay, well, Heavy D's done.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so betterment of esports. I do kind of agree with the whole girl hosts, not girl players, but girl hosts at these big events. Like, we've had, Lindsay Sporer and Alan Huang, now IPL, NASL, and they've been just always ragged on because they don't know a bloody thing about whatever they're hosting.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, to be fair, we still do have those knowledgeable ghosts. Like, look at Anna Prosser, look at Rachel Seltzer, please, right?
Mhm.
Very knowledgeable, but I'll bet they are more focused on StarCraft.
Yeah.
But they are great hosts because they actually know what to talk about, and they don't get uncomfortable with the players because they're very secure in themselves. And but I don't know. I'd like to see more knowledgeable hosts, or if you're not going to go with a knowledgeable girl host, I mean, I guess second place is a pretty girl host, but they look so awkward, like a lamb in a den of wolves. I don't know. For me, it reduces the impact of the event, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a little too harsh. Now, in the terms of the betterment of esports, more awareness would be greater for our image, a bit more class. I will agree with you on that, especially in the League of Legends scene. We're very young to the professional scene, but we need to see some kind of big turnabout in terms of our team so that we can continue doing these tournaments. Otherwise, that bubble's going to pop, and then guess what? You're out of a job.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh God, you quit school for 10 years? Oh well, I don't know what you're gonna do now. So whatever. Or they'll just move on to another game, whichever. Yeah. But I don't want to see that bubble pop, which means I'd like to see money allocations a little bit better invested, I guess. Like Riot, is doing 5 million. Is that going to be their standard? I don't know. And when will Tencent cut them off after that? So
Yeah.
yeah, better awareness. I'd love to see it on TV, but I still don't think we're hitting the numbers we need to right now to convince people for a pilot show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even Big Bang Theory pilot show hit triple or quadruple the digits that minimum we did on our best esports streaming day ever. So, yep, I don't
Yeah.
think it'll
Yeah.
happen, but I'd like to see something like that. I think we just need to still mature the scene a bit and make sure it doesn't pop under some kind of giant bubble. Also, future of gaming, according at least to WCG, will be mobile. So I'm going to go get Angry Birds and start commentating that for you guys. And you're going to see me at all these big Japanese events, doing Temple Run and Angry Birds and Oregon Trail,
All these
that's
high-tech
fun.
games.
Yeah.
That is a stupid move, in my opinion, but they're funded majority by Samsung, so.
Hey,
I
Angry
feel
Bird
like-
Space is a lot of fun.
I feel like that might be I'm hoping that's an early April Fool's Day joke.
That's what everybody else is saying, but it's very scary if that is not indeed.
It's horrifying.
It is.
So
Another thing I do want to say that's for the betterment of esports that Dota 2 Valve has promised for Dota 2, but I would like to see in other esports is LAN play. For the
Yes.
love of God, allow us to have LAN play.
Yeah. But hey,
I don't
they
think
want
I've
their money.
seen a
is the
single
problem.
StarCraft 2 tournament where they haven't had at least one lag issue.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
This is true.
Yeah.
But Blizzard servers got it, guys.
Han was supposed to have it, but it got scrapped along the way, so I don't know.
I think
Anyways,
it's difficult
yeah.
for Han or League to have something like that.
Well, I guess.
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
kind of difficult for League because then how do you determine? I mean, a lot of it has to do with how your runes and stuff like that. But if they're going to do LAN play, then do
They
you
just give
unlock
them all
everything?
At
Yeah.
least LAN play for tournaments then.
Yeah, but then I think one of the problem with a lot of things is the fact that like Riot has so much of a grip. It's almost to the effect of these companies are starting to get involved. Riot's doing a good job where they're supporting the industry, but they could also be hurting it because they're getting so involved and clutching it so hard. Whereas you don't see all these grassroots movements for little tournaments. Until lately when they released a spectator client. Before that it was pretty much Riot had the foothold on any major tournament you wanted to run. You either had to do it from replays or that 6 people spectator mode. And so you got to make sure that you keep a good spectator mode going for people
The
to
6
throw
player
their
hack.
only.
Yeah.
Do what?
Yes. Six-player
Yeah.
teams
Six-player
like Twisted
team.
Tree Line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to answer some things some people said in chat, and Kyle said something about Blizzard never going back to LAN. They learned on Diablo 2 about LAN and all the joys that brings, and all the horrible things you can
Close
do.
to Warcraft 3, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I mean, well,
that's.
and-
I mean,
and to
they
be fair,
had a
though-
lot of experience with what happens when you throw your game out to LAN. It's basically you lose control of it, and you make a lot less money. So
Yeah, well,
There's
and,
your
and to be
answer.
fair, like with the real money auction house, it would kind of
yeah, that would be bad.
not be very feasible, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now it's beta bucks.
Yeah, I love my beta bucks.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have 50 beta bucks.
Anyways, I think you should wrap this up, Tim.
Yep, we
Yeah.
are. We are.
We are
So,
wrapped
do you
up.
have any last wishes, Mr. Rebel?
No, I am fresh out of last wishes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want them to. All I want is more professional people. Just present yourself
Thank you
in a professional
guys.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
More
Present-
Toby. That's what I want.
Yes. So,
Aw.
other than that, I guess we'll wrap it up. To win a Super Monday Night Combat or CS:GO key, just get in the chat, and I will give it to you after I end the show. So,
Yeah, so if you leave, you don't get it.
right.
Ha 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 ha.
Heavy D substitute.
Sweet.
If you had an anime girl on that pillow, you could legally marry it in Japan.
Oh boy,
Nice.
what I've always wanted.
All right. Well,
Something to share that master bedroom with.
yeah. Hey.
That whole bed all to myself, by the way.
Yeah, it's comfortable. I bet.
That's why it has the lumps in it.
I do believe we, not 100% confirmed, but I do believe we're going to take next week off due to the fact that we are getting ready for PAX, and so we will be concentrating on.
But we might be there.
on
And IPL, come on.
do what?
And IPL, we're important too.
Yeah,
Right, right.
in
Next
IPL.
Well, I mean, we got to literally start getting ready, making sure we have shit packed, and
Wait, is IPL this weekend?
Next weekend.
Next-
it's the
yeah.
same weekend as PAX East.
Scared me for a minute there.
yeah,
It's like,
everything's
like PAX
happening on
this weekend.
Easter this year.
But I was told that Freak and Rivington will be casting the games at IPL, so I'm pretty happy about that.
So will
Cool.
Hackers and
You can go jump them.
Baron.
Someone's
Okay,
happy
good.
about free casting.
Yeah, at least
Well,
Has he
one.
gotten better since I watched?
He's gotten a little bit better.
It has nothing to do with that. I'm just hoping to bum some stuff off of him.
Best man.
Very
All
nice.
right, well-
Very nice.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will have a VOD up of this, which is good. So,
We will have a VOD up soon-ish.
good things. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll do this again soon.
Thank you guys in chat. Thank you for all the people who called in.
Yep.
Have a wonderful
That was a
night.
joke, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm.